Welcome, everyone, back to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig. I got Jeff sitting across from me, and today we're talking a little bit about what's been going on in fantasy drafts, in auction drafts for the last week. So ESPN, it's great. I love this little feature they have on their ADP live trends. You go there and you can see what the 7-day changes are for players. So we're going to go over the top 5 risers, top 5 fallers, see what these trends, like, do they mean anything? And why are they doing this, essentially? So we'll start us off. Tony Pollard is the biggest riser in the last 7 days. He's gone up $5.6 now to an average salary of $43.5. What are we thinking? What is the reason for this, actually? It's funny because Deuce Vaughn is actually getting a lot of hype as his backup, which is weird to think Pollard's gone up, but he's gone up. Maybe people were just coming around on his price was a little low and you were getting some deals on him. And when these drafts really started, people wanted Tony Pollard, I guess. I'm not sure what other. It's not really news to go. He's a good player. He's a great player. It's probably right, but I think it's people coming around on him. Maybe
I think that's what it is. I love Tony Pollard. I'm gonna have him as one of my keepers. I think he didn't get a lot of love because he is safe. He's gonna be the number 1 running back. Everyone kind of knew that. But I think what happens as well is all the news about the other running backs, and that drives the prices up of these other top guys, because the guys right below him, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. Injuries, holding out. You have, Joe Mixon, Travis Etienne. You have different news about Najee Harris. Like, it feels like as soon as you have a rookie running back or something that's kind of breathing down the neck of someone there, you get a little freaked out by it. So I think it drives almost everyone else's price down. Yeah. And someone like Tony Pollard, who is incredibly talented, has proved it last year, and now has the complete rough shot over the backfield. It does feel like he should be up there, so I think it's just a course correction.
I think you're right. I'll actually skip to number 3 because it's running back situation too. So Nick Chubb, he's the third biggest, a $5 raise. I think it's the same kind of deal. He's at 44.3, which to me is still actually undervalued for Nick Chubb. But I think it's the same kind of deal. It's Taylor, Jacobs, those guys, their situations aren't great, and you just know what you're getting in Nick Chubb. So people are starting to like, okay, I'm just going to get Nick Chubb and know I'm getting an awesome player who's just going to not steer me wrong.
I also wonder how much of it is, we always joke about but we're very deadly serious about the end of a tier. And Tony Pollard and Nick Chubb technically would be there if you just went right down the line. So I do wonder how much of that is, and like they could easily raise a price by $3 or so.
That's true. I think both of these are justifiable completely for going up.
Yeah. I think both of them are well worth that.
The actual second guy moving up is wide receiver Chris Olave. Has gone up $5.3 to 28.6 average price lately. It's a pretty good price for Chris Olave. We actually had some comments. People were asking what Olave went for in our drafts because it seemed like people, he went for 34 in our first auction we did for a long time league. $34 is a good price, but he's gone up $5 to 28.6. Again, not sure what is pushing this, except it's just people starting to buy into second year hype on Olave. He's a good player, better situation there with Derek Carr. Everything just seems like a good spot for him, right? I guess that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I think once again, when you're really going through who else you're going to get, you're willing to spend a few extra dollars to get the guy you believe in. And last year, he was the 23rd best wide receiver, and that was in a situation where he didn't have great quarterback stability. He made it over 1,000 yards in his rookie year. He only had 4 touchdowns. So I think that everyone sees the same thing we do. There's room to improve, and Carr is going to be a huge upgrade. Yep. He's kind of like the de facto number 1 wide receiver now. So I mean, once again, I think this is the correct.
I think so too.
Thing.
If people are drafting early, you almost get some advantages before the rest everyone comes around. So number 4, Calvin Ridley. This is another guy who you probably, if you drafted early, you took advantage of it. He went up $4.8. He's up to 19.8 now. For his 4.8 is a bigger jump, really, when you look at it. To go from 15 to 19.8, the percentage jump is probably the highest we got there. But he's getting up to $20 now. People are really buying into this Jacksonville offense. Calvin Ridley, he was a good player for Atlanta when he had the chance to play. It's been a while, but he was really good. Trevor Lawrence should be getting better. There's other good receivers around with him, good running backs. It's a good offense. People are starting to buy into Calvin Ridley here. Yeah, I'm so happy I got him for a $10 keeper now. I almost didn't do it.
I know. He's one of those guys that even I get a little starry-eyed. I'm like, that is that could be a huge deal. Like I want him. But yeah, I think everyone was holding their breath and waiting and saying, is this Calvin Ridley or is this a different version of him? And I think everyone kind of is buying into the hype because I think, where there's smoke, there's fire. He looks good. So totally get it. And at least for him, I get there because there is news. You are seeing him live on the field. There's reasons why people would get excited and start paying more for him.
Yep.
So that one makes a lot of
sense. And then the final one that's rising, we're going to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. He's up to $24 now, $3.4 increase. Man, there's been just nothing but good things coming out of camp. Oh man, as Lions fans, this is the greatest training camp of our lives. Hopefully it actually turns into something, right? God, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
It would be so disappointing.
It's gonna just crush me if they're not good. But Jahmyr Gibbs it's been just rave reviews out there, and they're like, what, next Alvin Kamara? They're gonna use him like that. They want to use him like that, and he's going up in price. He's not cheap anymore. This is where he's the tough one because again, you don't know for sure what he's going to do. And people, I hear other shows I've listened to, they go back and just say, well, what's any different than DeAndre Swift last year? Why isn't he not going to be DeAndre Swift? I don't think that's why they went and picked him at number 12 to be just DeAndre Swift. And they're not just going to give David Montgomery still could have like the Jamal Williams role and get a lot of the goal line work. Absolutely could happen. But Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be used everywhere else. And he'll be used around there too. But probably Montgomery and Gibbs out there. It seems like they're going to use them all over the place.
Yeah.
So I think it's a justifiable increase. I don't know how he's going to be used. Hey, you're taking a shot here if you go with Jahmyr Gibbs. That's it's 100% what it is.
Yeah, and I get that because he does have huge upside. And you're right. It could turn out to be that way, and you're overpaying for a guy, and you're kind of like, I took my shot, but you're not throwing that extra money on someone that has no shot at being like a top 5 running back. And if he got goal line carries for whatever reason, and he's as good in the passing game as we think, and that offense really moves and gives people a lot of ability to score touchdowns, he really could be huge, huge, huge. So I take your shot. I get it.
All right, 5 guys that are dropping in price. Number 1's Breece Hall, and he is cratered. He is down to $12.1. He's gone down 12.9, and we should have all seen the signs coming. Like, he wasn't practicing. There wasn't any indication that he would be 100% healthy. Dalvin Cook was sniffing around there, and he finally signs him. And they're just going to take their time with Breece Hall. So, yeah. This starts to get more of an attractive price when you can get him. If you can get him for this price, and it probably goes even lower than this, from what the news is. There's not any great news with him right now.
Yeah, before that, even before Dalvin, I was off of him because I was like, man, I worry about a running back coming back off an injury. No matter how good you are, once again, we always talk about AP. He's the only freak of nature that was able to. But even Saquon, he was not himself for a year. Breece Hall, a little bit different, injuries, whatnot. But I just didn't think they were going to run him to the ground. He wasn't going to be able to play right away, and it's kind of like too much money. Now Delvin goes, I don't think it changes a thing, to be quite honest. Like, I think Delvin is a security blanket. You're trying to win now with, with Aaron Rodgers. But if your average salary now is about $12, like you said, what can you actually expect in the second half of the season? Like, is it actually a good late hand play? It's kind of like the same reason I was just talking about Alvin Kamara is so such a lottery pick for me. Like, I really love him now because the price and what you're getting out of him. Like, I can punt 3 games. This is a lot more.
I think you got to pair it with Delvin. I really do. I don't think it's a crazy price to get both of them.
But do you think Breece Hall is going to return at the end of the year when it matters? Is he ever going to be full steam?
You know what? You're right. I think he's going to be good, but think about this team, and they have Super Bowl aspirations. I don't think they're going to run any one running back into the ground, right?
I think they're going to use, and they have Michael Carter. They have other guys they can use.
It's going to be a good split. I don't think this is the year for Breece Hall. I don't
either.
I think next year
at 12, can he give you that down the stretch when they're trying to make the playoffs themselves?
It's not a big risk, but it can be if that means you don't get Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
I mean, what I mean? Like, if you're looking at that price.
I keep looking. Can you fill in a roster with $10 to $15 running backs. Can you get 4 of them? And
it could be worth the risk. The news hasn't been good. I don't know if I love it.
Yeah, I was kind of off of him, but now I'm trying to re-examine live. If we're $12 and
It's
you're
not there. I don't think I can take the risk.
Nah, I don't either.
Number 2, Ramondre Stevenson. He's gone down $3.6 to 19.8, and that's because of the Zeke signing. I think this is something you actually take advantage of. I think Zeke he's okay. He's definitely not the player he was. Stevenson should be good. I don't think this affects Stevenson was a running back 1 last year with Damian Harris being around quite a bit. So I'm not too concerned. I would still get Ramondre Stevenson for under $20. I love it. I think that's actually a good price. So this is all the Zeke news. Stevenson should be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I get the amount it went down.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't. It doesn't hurt me at all.
No.
I agree with you. I don't think it really moves the needle too much for me.
I don't think so.
As far as Zeke, I like Zeke, but don't tell me that Stevenson was going to be the one and only back that Patriots used. It never worked.
No.
Yeah. So it didn't really change too much for me.
Jonathan Taylor's gone down $2.7, and that's makes sense. Now he had the trade request. Now they've actually let him find somebody. I don't know if that's going to happen, but he's there. He's there at camp because he has to be. Because he would be fined if he's not. There's the difference between him and Josh Jacobs. Jacobs doesn't have to be there because he hasn't signed anything. He just hasn't he hasn't signed the franchise tag. So Jacobs can be gone away from the team and not miss anything. Taylor has to be there, otherwise he's gonna be fined. Doesn't seem like a great situation. No. If he doesn't get traded, because I don't think he will, based on what's out there, maybe I'm wrong.
I'd be shocked if he was
maybe
traded.
By the time this episode comes out, he's been traded.
Yeah.
It might be wrong, but it just those I don't know. It's not until it's cleared up. You can't. I understand going down. I wouldn't pick him right now until it's cleared up.
No, I wouldn't either. And I'd be shocked if he gets traded. I don't think you get value for him, and I don't think Colts right now are going to be give into that because they're not winning this year.
No.
So
number 4 is Rachaad White. He's gone down $2.6 to 12.2. I like Rachaad White, and I think this is 100% rookie hype of Sean Tucker, undrafted rookie who's been playing pretty well. Earlier in the year, Rachaad White said, told him they were calling him Baby Nick Chubb. They were calling Sean Tucker that, right? So Tucker's getting a little bit of hype here, but that could be part of it. Everyone wants that next thing, right? And one of these people wrote that they believe Sean Tucker should be the running back 2, if not the 1B to Rachaad White. So I think that could be part of it.
Well, I think that is. They hit on it though unknowingly is when they said he should be the number 2. Yeah. If he's not the number 2 yet,
well, because it's Keyshawn Vaughn ahead of him, and I mean, I don't think it's much from Keyshawn Vaughn. Yeah. But I don't know if $12 though for Rachaad White. I love that.
Yeah, I do too. I
drop it down a little bit. I'm good with that.
He'll be the RB1, and hey, you can get Tucker too for almost nothing.
You'll get him for $1.
Yeah, you can throw him on your bench and find out. I mean, great.
And then Dameon Pierce has gone down $1.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just don't love the Texans. I don't love the offense. Devin Singletary's there now. I don't have the need. I don't want Dameon Pierce. Sorry.
I'm staying away from him. And I liked him last year, but I'm off of him.
No. So, all right, there we go. There's some people going up and down in some situations, maybe to take advantage of and some to avoid. So that'll do it for today. Talk to you guys next time.